Okay, this is the part 3. So what we want to try to do is I want to go backwards so that if I'm just given the numbers, can I figure out the function? Or can I figure out the polynomial? If I'm just given numbers, and why would we ever do this? Well, in science, how about you're given a whole bunch of data, and if you can try to make it where you can see a first and a second difference and a third difference, you can actually come up with the function or the polynomial that fits with your data, which is could be very helpful. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to show you on this one, I have x, and I don't know what f of x is. I don't know if it's x squared. I don't know what it is. Okay, I have no idea what belongs right here. And I get the first difference here. 1 minus 2 divided by 1, I get -1. 6 minus 1 is 5, but I got to be careful. Divided by 2 minus 1. Okay, I see my first difference. Let's see what my second difference is, though. What's 5 minus -1? I believe that's a 6. What's 17 minus 5? 12. What's 35 minus 17? 18. What's 59 minus 35? I get a 24. Okay, very interesting. Let's see what my third difference is. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a constant here. Okay, I'm going to get 12 minus 6 is 6. I'm going to get 18 minus 12. I get a 6. 24 minus 18, I get a constant. So my fourth difference is 0. Okay, so we have to go back and look at our patterns for this one. Let me see if I can get my cat to be quiet. Hold on. So what do I do with this? I don't know what to do. How am I supposed to figure that function out? Well, let's go back here. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So I know if my third difference is a constant 6, that means my fourth difference is 0. If my fourth difference is 0, what degree is my polynomial? It's going to be a third degree polynomial because the fourth difference is 0. So I know it's going to look something like this. It's going to look like ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. But I have no idea what A, B, C, and D are. Okay, but I do have those little patterns. So if I go back and look at the patterns for, let's say, a third degree polynomial, it tells me my second difference is what? I don't know, let's go look. You're going to have to be quiet, sunshine. Let's go back and look at those patterns. There it is. It says it's going to be I'm looking at a cubed here. It says the third difference is going to be 6a. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. My third difference is 6a. Well, my third difference is 6, so what do you think a is? A is going to be 1. 6a is equal to 6. Solve for a is equal to 1. Where did you get that, Mrs. Webb? Well, I know my third difference over here is a 6. And if it's a third degree polynomial, I know that it's going to be equal to 6a because that's the pattern. So I get a all by itself by dividing by 6, and I now know a is equal to 1. My leading coefficient in this function is 1. Okay? Let's see if we can figure out B, C, and D. Okay. So, but I'm not going to do B and C next. I'm going to do D next. How would I calculate D? Well, if I put in a 0 for x, I'm told that I get a 2. So if I put in a 0 for x, I get 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus d has to equal 2. So doesn't d have to equal 2? Does that make sense? So I plug in a 0 for x because I'm looking at this guy right up here, this line, this row. So I say, okay, I know a is 1. 1 times 0 plus b times 0 plus c times 0 plus d is equal to 2. I end up with d equal to 2. Cool. I'm halfway there. I have now figured out it's 1x cubed, and I know d is equal to 2. Let's go put that in there. I know d is equal to 2. Now I have to figure out b and c. That's a little bit harder. Okay, so to figure out b and c, I'm going to come and I'm going to look right here. Okay, if I put in a 1 for x, then it should spit out a 1. So if I do 1 times and I put a 1 in for x, 1 cubed, plus b times 1 squared plus c times 1, and I have already solved for d, plus 2, I should spit out a 1. So I end up with this b plus c is equal to -2. But that doesn't help me because I have 2 variables and 1 equation. I need another equation. I think I better go to the next row here and plug in a 2 for x and see what I get. Let's go do that. If I plug in a 2 for x up here, it should spit out a 6. So I come down here, I already know that a is 1, 1 times 2 cubed, plus b times 2 squared, plus c times 2, and I know that d is equal to 2 is equal to 6. So what ends up happening is the 4b and the 2c come down. 8 plus 2 is 10. I subtract 10 from both sides and I get a -4. I now have my second equation. And I want to solve for b and c, and this is why we reviewed how to solve a system of equations first in class. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you how to solve a system of equations that we were given. So I came up with b plus c equals -1, 4b plus 2c equals -4. Is that right? That just doesn't seem right to me. Let me go look. Yeah, there's the -4 down there. Oh, I got a -2 there. Is that what I got up here? I don't think that's what I got. I put a 1 there. So I'm going to have to correct this. So let me put this on hold and see if I can fix it. Okay? Something was wrong. I know it's b plus c is equal to -2 because that's what we figured out when we substituted in a 1 for x. We got b plus c equals -2. When we substituted a 1 for, when we substituted 2 in for x, we got 4b plus 2c is equal to -4. So now these are the correct equations that I have that I need to solve for so I can tell you what b and c are. So on this one, I can't add any of these and get a 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this whole equation by -2. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So I can multiply b plus c times -2. And I can multiply the -2 times -2. Okay, and I come up with -2b plus -2c is equal to +4 because it's a -2 times a -2. Gives me a +4. Then I'm just going to write the second equation down here. Now, can you add those and it'll eliminate one of your variables? Yeah, now I got 4b and I add it to -2b and I get a 2b. Look what happens here. Those cancel out and I get a 0. So I just eliminated c. Look what happens over here though. If I add 4 and -4, I get a 0 there. So that means b must be equal to 0. 2 times 0, so then you get 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. I have just solved for b. Okay, now if I want to substitute b into the first equation, I go up, I know b is now 0. So what's c equal to? -2. Okay. So now you have solved for a, b, c, and d, and I can go and put them into my function up here. Here is a, we solved for a, and we got a 1. Well, where's b? B would go with the x squared, and it's a 0, so I don't even put it in there. But I could put a 0x squared minus c, which is a 2x, and there's d. So I think it's kind of cool that if I'm given a group of numbers here, some data, I can go find my first difference, my second difference, my third difference, and if my fourth difference is 0, I know I have a third degree polynomial, and I just showed you how you could go back and find out what all the coefficients are, and I can tell you what that function is. That was the whole point, and we do that in science a lot. Okay? So we have 3. Normally we do 6 problems. I think I cut it down to 3. And you're going to want to look at this video over again and kind of go through it slowly and write your steps out. And let's see if we can do the problem set for lesson 1, module 1, lesson 1. Thanks.